What is Eidul Adha? Eidul Adha is the celebration of sacrifice and marks the end of Hajj, the annual pilgrimage to Mecca. This celebration is to remember Prophet Abraham, who was very obedient to God and was ready to sacrifice his most precious possessions when he was asked to do so. Abraham was very patient and in constant search for truth. Muslims all over the world reflect on these qualities in their life at this time of the year. Why do we celebrate Eidul Adha? Eidul Adha. The Adha is Arabic word meaning sacrifice. Allah gives us the strength to sacrifice our ego, hatred, root, behavior, jealousy, instead of sacrificing the beautiful relationships over small self-proclaimed misunderstandings. Fill our life with a river of happiness, oceans of peace, and blissful serenity. Eidul Adha Mubarak. Celebrations of Eidul Adha. What do you think the pilgrims are celebrating? The Hajj ends with a special celebration. Eidul Adha remembers when Allah appeared to Ibrahim in a dream and asked him to sacrifice his son Ismail as an act of obedience to God. The devil tempted Ibrahim by saying he should disobey Allah and spare his son. As Ibrahim was about to kill his son, Allah stopped him and gave him a lamb to sacrifice instead. Modern-day pilgrims sacrifice a sheep or goat as a reminder of obedience to Allah. They share out the meat among family, friends, and the poor, who each get a third share. Here I share the Quran verse that relate to the Eidul Adha. And when he reached with him the age of accessions, he said, "Oh my sons, indeed I have seen in a dream that I must sacrifice you. So see what you think." He said, "Oh my father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah wills, of the sickness." Quran 37 verse 102. Who was Ibrahim alayhi salam and who was Ismail alayhi salam? Ibrahim was prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He had a dream of sacrificing his son Ismail. Prophet Ibrahim had to choose between his love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which was very strong, and his love for his sons, which was also strong. What do you think Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, should decide? Why? Prophet Ibrahim conveyed his dream to his son Ismail. How do you think Prophet Ismail alayhi salam, who was just 13 years old, would have reacted? Replied to his father. Prophet Ismail replied, "Oh my father, do as you are commanded. I will remain patient." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was pleased with both father and son's patience, loyalty, obedience, and respect. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a sheep that was to be sacrificed instead of Ismail alayhi salam, and that is why Eidul Adha is celebrated. Animals meant to be sacrificed in Eidul Adha: cow, sheep, goat, and camel. What do Muslims do during the day of Eidul Adha? In Eidul Adha, we perform Eid Salah prayer. Second, we sacrifice animals. Third, we distribute one part of the meat to the poor and the needy, one part of the meat to the relatives, and one part for ourselves. Fourth, we give charity. And fifth is we perform Hajj before Eid. Here is some sunnah for Eid. Take a bath before going to prayer. Eat an odd number of dates before leaving home. Dress your absolute best while showing modesty. Proclaim takbir while traveling to the masjid. Congratulate one another by saying, "May Allah accept from us and you." Return home by a different path from which you went to the masjid, so that the two paths will testify in your favor on the day of judgment. Here is another diagram that shows the sunnah of Eidul Adha. First, to rise early. Second, to clean the teeth with miswak. Third, to have bath, a shower. Fourth, to dress in one's best garments in Islamic manners. Fifth, to apply it. Sixth, to avoid eating before Eid Salah. Seventh, to go early for Eid Salah. And the last one, to walk for Eid Salah using one road and return in another. Here, there's a topic of tashriq, and you have to takbir in a loud voice while going to Eid Salah. Before we end our class today, I would like to wish Happy Eidul Adha. Take care yourself. Remember, stay healthy. Assalamu alaikum.